Languages in Pakistan. So, what is the context of Pakistan? Pakistan, as we would know, is a multilingual country. It has 6 major languages, and you might not have guessed, but it has over 58 minor languages that speak there, of which there are several speakers. Urdu, the language that has been declared as the national language of Pakistan, it is the mother tongue of almost 11 million people. And if you talk about second language speakers, that is people who have learned Urdu in their schools or outside their immediate communities, then this population comes to 105 million. And it is a huge number. And if we are talking about Urdu, we need to remember that Urdu acts like a lingua franca in Pakistan. That is, it is a connective language across different ethnic communities. And as such, it is, highly valued. Now, if we are saying that the mother tongue speakers of Urdu are less in number, almost like 7.5%, and most of the people are actually learning the language in their schools. And if we say that the literacy rate is around 58%, as per the Economic Survey of Pakistan 2016, then that would mean that people who have access to Urdu will be much lesser than the number of the people who are speaking indigenous languages. We are not only saying this, but we would also need to think about English, which is the official language in Pakistan. And then if English is also available to people through schooling, then even lesser number than those who have access to Urdu in their schools is there for English language. So it is the smallest percentage of the whole population of Pakistan that is able to use English or speak English. So just a quick look at languages in Pakistan and how many speakers do we have in terms of percentages and numbers. We will be focusing only on percentages. You have Punjabi, almost 44%. You have Pashto, 15%. Sindhi, 14%. Seraiki, 10% speakers of the whole population. Urdu, 7%. And then we are talking about Balochi, 3%, and there are other smaller languages spoken by more than 4%. So this is the multilingual context of Pakistan. So now we come to technology. And by technology over here, we might think about the computers or the access we have to computers and what is the language of technology used there. Now, when I talk about access to the language that is on the internet and the language in which computer programs have been constructed, you might ask the question that first of all, the thing is how many people actually do have access to computers. Very few, that is very true. And there are very few people who might have computers in their homes. But we do have internet cafes which operate both in urban areas, more in urban than in rural areas. But I wouldn't say there is no internet cafe with the sprawling of the city. There might be some villages where at least in nearby there is an internet cafe. Now, although internet cafes are used mainly for playing games and the access to them is limited for the females, yet they can also be used as information centers, and it does not stop them. There are no rules that tells them that they cannot access important information that they would like to retrieve from the internet in those internet cafes. So, yes, we have only a fraction of population that has access to computers. We might at this point have only a fraction of population that has access to internet also, but this doesn't mean that this will be the case always, and we can always look forward to giving them these opportunities, giving them this access to internet, because as we move up, as we go towards development, this is an important source of development to engage our population with whatever global changes that are coming about and that they might affect their own lives. So over here then, there comes the question of localization of programs, that is, using computer programming and constructing them in such a way that English is replaced by local languages. Since the process is expensive, and as I said, very few have access to it, the question is it worth it? So this is what we are going to see.